Hi everyone, new car day. First of all, I've got to get a train here from Fazakerley all the way to Bristol. So there's the train journey done. I'm going to walk to the dealership. It's about half an hour. On the way, I'm just going to explain a few bits about why I went for the car that I did. So what have I bought? Well, I've bought something, as you probably understood from the first few episodes, I've bought something quite unusual. I did stick with the estate car theme. I actually bought a Volvo V50. I know it's quite a strange car for a first car, but I've done all the research. Insurance-wise, I originally got a quote for the same car for £2,200. But over the last month or so where I've actually been looking and before I committed, this price went up to £2,600. But even with that, that's £1,400 cheaper than it would be to insure a Ford Fiesta. The car is a 1.6 diesel. It's going to be really good on fuel, it's going to be quite cheap to run, and even the road tax is only £20 a year. All in all, it's a sensible option. Boot space is another thing that was a big pull for my needs. Obviously with my Cane Corso, Callie, she needs to be able to fit in the back, and it allows me to go off and do things without putting it in my daily car, my Focus ST. With the savings that I did make on the insurance, didn't necessarily blow the budget, but I have gone over budget. Remember I said that I'd give myself £1,500. Well, I've spent a little more than that. I've spent £1,900, but spending £400 more to make a bigger saving, and don't forget what I've just said about the car tax, I think it was a sensible option. What do you think? Before I made this decision, pretty obviously as well, I got the car checked out through Car Vertical, and this is the actual check for my car. As you can see straight away, we've got 3 green ticks. There's only 3 previous owners as well, which for me was a good thing. It hasn't been passed from pillar to post. That doesn't always mean you're going to get a bad car, but it does give me a little peace of mind, especially at this price point. Everything else was fine. The car was never stolen. It's not currently listed as stolen. Mileage wise, the car has done now 159,000 miles. And as you can see by the mileage record from Car Vertical, this Car Vertical report, it's gone up pretty steadily. And even since the last MOT in November 2024, it's done another 4,000 miles. So it's not been off the road and broken. There's nothing wrong with the financial and legal status. And as I've just mentioned, it has a current MOT. Now, there are a couple of things that I'm going to ask the dealer before I actually take delivery of the car about these. Headlamp cleaning device inoperative on both sides. These weren't fails on the last MOT, these were just advisories. The under tray was not fully secure, and the exhaust had a minor leak of exhaust gases. This price point though, couldn't expect it to be perfect. There's no records of the car ever being damaged. So what I've actually decided to do, I've decided to actually just buy the car without getting it checked out. The dealership that I'm buying it from, Sensibly Priced Cars here in Bristol, they've got some great reviews, which I did say in one of the earlier episodes. And the car also comes with a 3-month warranty. This is just for the major parts of the car, the engine, the gearbox and the likes. If there are any other minor problems, that's on my shoulders, but I'm happy to take a risk at this price point. Now, another thing that did cross my mind when choosing a Volvo was the safety aspect. If you are helping your 18-year-old buy their first vehicle, they're more than likely with the stats, going to maybe have a little prang in their car over the first few years. That's just how things are, unfortunately. Would you prefer them to have a prang in a Volvo, or would you prefer them to have a prang in a Fiesta? Interesting. But don't forget, if you tell them to watch this channel, hopefully they're going to educate themselves that little bit more and probably stop themselves from getting into trouble. I think it's time to go off and collect the car. What do you think? Okay, I test drove the car. The car actually was pretty decent, to be honest, but when I came back, one of the guys from Sensibly Priced Cars, James, noticed that it was leaking some fluid, and it turns out to be hydraulic fluid. So he's not let me take the car, pretty obviously, 150-mile journey. It's not the best in the car that's leaking hydraulic fluid. And to be fair to him, he's going to fix the car and he's going to deliver it all the way to Liverpool. You can't say fairer than that for a £2,000 car, can you? And he's refunded me the train tickets. So, roll on 4 weeks, we are off to go and pick up a different car. What went on? Well, Sensibly Priced Cars were honestly good as gold. The problem with the other car had to do with the steering rack, and it was just dragging on a little, so they offered me a refund, so I took the refund and I found a different vehicle. This one is in Peterborough. I've got to get the train down to Peterborough today to go and pick it up. Hopefully we don't have the same sort of problems. It's still a Volvo V50 that I bought, but this one's a different colour. It's the same age, but it's done about 30 odd thousand miles less than the other one. And I've also blown the budget even more, but I'll explain that a little bit later. Let's not bore you with all the train journeys to Peterborough. It's going to take me about 4 and a bit hours. Catch up on a little bit of work, but we'll catch up when we're there as well. So Peterborough didn't happen well. The train journey did. Again, unfortunately, I got all the way down to Peterborough, 4-hour plus train journey. Got to the dealership, iGreen Cars, and the car wasn't suitable, if I was honest. The car had an extra couple of features compared to the other one. It had a flip-up screen, and that's where sat-nav was. Okay, no problems. It also, like it just said in the piece to camera, it had a few less miles. It had very good service history as well with it. And the reason why I was prepared to blow the budget, and this car was £2,500, was because it had cam belt and water pump changed. The other one, the first vehicle that I looked at, hadn't had that done, so that was going to be a few £100 to ensure that the engine wasn't just going to go kaput, especially at the mileage that we're looking at with these particular cars. So I got all the way down to Peterborough. Like I said, the flip-up screen, sat-nav screen, wouldn't work. Fairly easy little fix, if I was honest. But the main one for me is that the central locking didn't work. I couldn't lock the car. You could unlock the driver door with the key, but the central locking wouldn't work to lock all of them. So yeah, you probably could have got in the car, locked it, got out, other key out, locked it up again. However, there were a couple of other little issues with it as well. It had a collision on the front right hand corner. They've been repaired pretty poorly. There was big gaps around the headlights underneath. The headlight was cracked as well. Not sure whether or not that would be an MOT fail. In any case, iGreen Cars were good enough, give me my deposit back, and here we are again. So over the course of 4 or 5 weeks, I've tried to purchase 2 vehicles, but neither of them have been acceptable and suitable. So I've widened my search. I've looked for a couple of vehicles on eBay, and there's one particular car that I'm heading over to Bury to go and have a look at now. I'm finished for the day. Well, I've had to make space in my diary to go off and deal with this, go off and have a little look, but I suppose an hour to Bury and an hour back is better than the 9-10 hours I spent travelling to Peterborough and back the other day. So yeah, this is a car from eBay. It's a classified ad. Again, it's a Volvo V50, but I've just had a message from the seller. It's quite open and transparent to say he's just turned the car on and there's a light on the dashboard to say reduced power from this particular vehicle. He said, but it's driving okay. Now, I'm still going to go over, have a little look at it, and hopefully it's not a wasted journey. If it's a wasted journey, I will keep on looking. Didn't realise how hard it was to actually buy an older vehicle. Here we go. First impressions. Okay. Little scuff on the front. Headlamp not fitting quite as it should. The shut lines look pretty good. Is that a little scrape? Yeah, it is. Okay. That's the back seat. What's up with that? Another absolute shit show. Buying a second-hand car, honestly, it's harder than I thought. I've found a car on eBay. Now, yeah, I've taken a massive risk with this. I'm going to let you into what I've done. It's on eBay. The car itself has been written off. It's another Volvo V50. It's been written off, but it's a category N. I've checked it all out through Car Vertical. The report came back really clear. It did say on the report that it's obviously been a category M write-off, so there's nothing hidden about the car. It's got decent history. It's had the cam belt and water pump done. It's done 144,000 miles. It's a little newer. It's a 12 plate, but it's got a few scrapes down one side. Now, my way of thinking is this, that thinking of location, the programme, Kirsty and Phil, you always say that there's a compromise somewhere. And is this going to be my compromise? Have I had to compromise and have a car with a few scrapes down the side to get one near a budget that's going to be reasonable? Well, this car is 1,800 quid. So it's a fair bit cheaper than the one I went to go and see in Peterborough. It's actually the cheapest of all of them that I've seen. I've seen the pictures of it. The interior does look pretty good. but time will tell. Like I said, I'm off to Birmingham to go and see what it's like. So another train journey. We'll catch up when we're there. So I bought it. Honestly, it's pretty good for a fair bit less money than the others, and I paid £1,795 for this. I think I've got a little bit of a steal. There are a few bits with it. It's understandable at this sort of price point, but I'm gonna quickly show you around. Let's have a little look at the outside first. So there she is. It's got different wheels on. I'm not sure why. It may have had something to do with the fact that it is a category N. But it's pretty tidy. I'll show you. I tell you what, I'll show you around first of all. This is obviously the back. Pretty tidy. There's a couple of little dinks in it. We've got this bumper and side panels a little bit out, but that's probably down to, this is the worst bit of it. It's got a couple of little creases down the side. But like I said, that's my Kirsty and Phil moment. If it had different alloys on one side and different the other, I'm not sure many people would have actually noticed, but it's pretty tidy. It's got a little dink there on the front wing, but apart from that, everything looks good around the front. It's missing a Volvo badge, but overall it doesn't look too bad. Let's show you on the inside, the back first of all. Got my camera bag there, but everything seems in order. The seats look in pretty good condition, and it's actually quite clean. Let's show you inside as well. Don't forget, this car has done 149,000 miles. Everything looks pretty tidy. Let's show you the inside. As you can see, I've got my Waze on to get me home, and just stopped at Hilton Park Services here just to do a little bit of a walk around the car and show you what's what. But as you can see, I've got my V5 there with the other key. Everything works. All the electrics work, all the windows work, radio works, cruise control works. Let's show you this as well. Just been driving on the motorway for about maybe 20 minutes or so, and I'm just going to show you. In fact, I'll start it up. No problems. Rear belt's not in use. Auto start stop on. Look at my average miles a gallon that I've just been doing on the motorway. Absolutely unbelievable. Aircon's nice and cold. Nothing looks out of place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to strap a couple of cameras on the car, and then we'll just maybe talk about a couple of things on the way back. Let's find my way out first of all. Where do we go? I think we go right here. Yep, we do. I have stuck some fuel in, obviously not at the services. I think I just paid $139 for diesel, was it? Don't know, didn't look, but it's a fair bit cheaper than it is at motorway services. Anyone watching this, because you're thinking of buying a new car and you're after this information that I've found out during this process, Make sure you always fill up away from services if at all possible. Only use them in an emergency. But first impressions of the car are actually pretty good. The engine seems sweet. There's no warning lights. It pulls strongly. There's no steering wheel judder. The gear changes are nice and smooth. The clutch is easy to use. The seats are comfortable. The view out of the car is very, very good. It's a lovely, smooth place to be. I can't get over just how comfortable even the ride is on this. I suppose I am used to my Focus ST, but this rides so more compliantly. It's a much more comfortable place to be, I suppose. Am I just getting old? Perhaps. The mirrors are nice and wide and big. It cruises comfortably at 70 miles an hour. I'm just going to stick the cruise control on as well. Just got to be careful of the Audi coming out around the lorry, so I'm leaving it for a little second. There we go, we're good. But it's got enough torque and pulling power to just pull you past certain things. Everything does feel nice and tight to it. I'm surprised. So like I said, it's nearly done 150,000 miles. It's taken a long while. It's taken me 5 or 6 weeks of trying to purchase a car for me to actually find one. And there was also a fair bit of luck involved. Now, I'm just going to quickly go through this process as well of what I did. I left, I don't need to go out, I'm okay. I left the seller a deposit of £195 and I paid it directly into his bank account, like I've already said. Should you ever do that? Absolutely not. I think, to be honest though, I was coming to the end of my tether with this process. When I saw the pictures, I sort of had a little feeling that this was the correct car after speaking to Adam as well and what he said about it. But don't ever leave anyone a deposit into their personal accounts. Or if you do it from a credit card, so at least you've got a little bit of comeback. It could have gone wrong. I might have lost my £195 and never seen it again, and the car could have been an absolute made-up proposition, and there are loads of scammers out there, so I did take a little bit of a risk. Would it affect me massively if I lost 195 quid? No, but someone in this same process as I've been through, buying the first car, I know mine's not, but if you were doing it for real, 195 quid is a big percentage of, it's 10%, it's 10% of the purchase of the vehicle, or more in this case. So don't ever do that. Another little thing, I did talk to Liz this morning, and I did say to Liz about should I take my X-Tools scanner along with me. Effectively, I could have plugged in this scanner and found out whether there are any codes sat on the car, and in the background, even though there's no engine lights on, there's no lights on the dashboard whatsoever, it's perfect. I could have taken that, but I came to the conclusion that that's not a real life situation as well. Not everyone buying a first car is going to have access to a scanner, but I am going to run the scanner on the car soon. I'm going to see whether there are any underlying faults with it. Other plans I've got with this, I am going to go on a road trip. Myself, Liz and Callie are going to go on a little trip somewhere. I'm going to go and put some more miles on it. I am going to get it serviced. I'm actually going to get it MOT'd to find out whether there's anything wrong with it. And I'm going to have a big involvement from all my viewers and subscribers on whether I should get the doors sorted. Does it need that to be a first car? Are those scrapes and creases on the door a big issue? Is having different wheels on the car a big issue? For me, I think I've already made my mind up, but it could be something we go down in the future. And then here's the big news. When I've done a few more bits with this, before I tell you this, I've got a couple of other things that I'm going to do with this as well. I've got the latest all singing, all dancing VFO dash cam that I'm going to put in it. And the thing that I probably am missing with this vehicle is maybe an Apple CarPlay screen, because I've had to stick, although I know my way home now, it was really getting out of Birmingham that I didn't really know, but I've had to use my phone, as you can see, for sat-nav. But I have got, and a big thanks to Ayuchi for sending me this, I've got an Apple CarPlay screen that's going to go in, which includes a reversing camera and a rear camera and a dash cam at the front as well, a forward-facing dash cam. So I'm going to get that installed. We're going to have a little look at that. But after all that, what am I going to do with the car? What have I got plans for? Well, I'm going to give it away. So please keep tuned in. Thank you for watching this episode and the others if you have seen them. But like I said, there's plenty more to come to try and discover whether this Volvo that I have bought is, what's this one doing in front? Why are they braking? To discover whether this Volvo I have bought is a good purchase or not. Only time will tell. Anyway, I'm going to get myself home. It's been another long day, but at least I haven't had 2 train journeys this time. At least it's only been a one-way trip, and it's nice to get in my new car. I'll see you all soon. Keep safe.